Salve, Paolo Zampolli, guest chef tonight on the Duo. You may not know me as a man who introduced the Donald to Melania. Not today. I'm United States Special Representative for Global Partnerships, appointed directly by Mr. Trump himself. Tonight you'll see me, the Italian Scallion, preparing a most magnificent dish. Amatriciana. I made this Italian delight for Luca Nicoli when I was recently in Serbia, bobbing and weaving on Donald's behalf as I courted Luca, the country's MMA president, much like I did Melania, who hailed from another former Yugoslavian nation, Slovenia. So I actually discovered her in Milan, my home country, and brought her here to America for a different reason, to make her grandioso as a cold-staring fashion model. Look at these breathtaking ingredients, sumptuous when combined into the amatriciana sauce. Yes. From pancetta to tomatori, or tomatoes in English, plenty of riccano pecorino. Join me on the chua. The globals are up as you get to know me, Paolo Zampolli. Let's begin by rendering the pancetta. As we boil some water here for our pasta dish. Amatriciana. Drizzle that up like I did in 1995. Recruiting Melania for my IB Model Management Agency. Yes, Jeffrey and I, we lured the babes with visas, whatever pleases. So we brought them here, and they sometimes mistreat us, but usually the other way around. EB1A visa, which stood for Employment-Based First Preference, the so-called Einstein visa, designated for foreign nationals with extraordinary ability in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics. In Melania, she excelled in every respect, especialmente in going out natural for the camera. She was very good at that, very natural at going out natural. Those ingredients simmer together tastily like Melania. Then and now, we have become lifelong friends, amico intimos, as she invites me everywhere. Panito, and add some onions, an option I like to incorporate, along with some garlic. Be careful not to overcook the pancetta, of course. And you want to add some hot pepper flakes. Spice things up. Like Melania did upon arrival in the United States. Posing for nude pictures, including on Donald's plane. Of all things. What a happy time that was. Now I want to add a can of authentic Roma tomatoes, with skin that I have surely removed. Little aside, Melania was also close to my now former common-law wife, Amanda Ungara. She came here from Brazil, on Epstein's plane, by the way, with about 30 other young girls, when she was an aspiring model at the age of 17. Some say 15, I'll go with 17. He was right for his growing MC Squared agency that he co-founded with Jacques-Louis Brunel, who interestingly ended up in a Paris jail after an impressive track record raping young girls, where he also took the Epstein route and supposedly hung himself there. Who would have predicted such a coincidence? Amanda was so bellissimo when we first met. I was just 32 at the time, 24 years ago. And we totally hit it off. And she just like a daughter to me. At least I was old enough to be her father. And as luck would have it, I was able to sign Amanda in New York to my ID models management and have lots of sex with her while I promised high fashion jobs and much more. Probably too much sex, by the way, as she later got pregnant. Oops-oh. I come such a long way from my humble beginnings in Milan. When my papa got killed in a skiing accident and I inherited his company that made and distributed toys, which I quickly sold for millions of lira and parlayed into my fantastico visa business for forlorn ladies living in sullen despair. Just like slaves who earn valuable trades while in the chains of their masters. My contacts and connections are something to behold, including, I'm proud to say, multiple references in the Epstein files. I even leveraged my power to get Amanda deported last year. And she's all grown up and less interesting now, I'm afraid to say. I put her on ICE detention for 3 months, I think, like 90 days, before having her deported to Brazil. It's where she started. So, in effect, I had her imported and now deported. You could say I'm in the export-import business, where she can happily start over without our son, who I can shape most brilliantly by myself. Now that your pasta is nearly al dente, add it to bed with the sauce and toss it frequently, cooking to the tenderness you prefer. And I say, mwah! Again, I'm Paolo Zampolli, the 20 Minutes for 20 Billion man, star of Donald's Grifting for Dollars campaign. I'm even working on getting Mount Kilimanjaro named Trump Mountain. Although I immigrated to America from Italy long ago, I still remain committed to my roots. In fact, I went there and tried to persuade them about an idea I had about getting Italy in the upcoming World Cup by advocating for the removal of Iran and replacement with Italy, even though Italy didn't qualify and Iran did. I made them an offer I didn't think they could refuse, but they did. I guess they have too much integrity. Fortunata, but I tried. Like when I was with J.D. Vance in Hungary, stomping for the corrupt dictator Viktor Orban. Oh well, that didn't go so well. Had much more success, by the way, with Melania. When I just introduced her to Mr. Trump, Melania no ass at the time, but I assure you, she had an ass and a nice one. Then and now. I talked it up to Donald to the point he couldn't wait to meet her when I introduced them in 1998 at the Kit Kat Club in Manhattan, which I had rented out for a party I hosted for my ID model management agency. I had Melania under contract for at least a couple of years by then. So it was a match I made in heaven for the two of them. So bowl it up. If you can, rely on imported ingredients, like me. Although that's not critical or imperativo, like similar to the art of matrimony, which was not necessario for me and Amanda, who I also placated by arranging for to be ceremonial ambassador to Granada, of all places. I got her that gig. She should be happy. I can't say that I miss Amanda. Nor does Melania, as you heard from her White House podium speech. Urgentivo to block what that witch may have to say out of the 20 years of friendship that Melania has forgotten. Can't blame her, as I spent many years listening to Amanda gripe about not getting her green card. Oh, yeah, I promise, but I'm not sure she earned it after 20 years. And thank God I didn't do that. And thanks to Donald, of course, who doesn't care about anyone, so it's all good. I'll stay loyal as long as necesario. Excelente. Much like my journey from a millionaire child to a model agency mogul to the White House today. It tastes so good. Especially now, with Amanda out of my hair. I'm a true ragged to riches story. Magnificently rich today. My knowledge, the intimacy, and the depth. Much like this recipe. I bring to the world my role in the administration and relationship of the Trumps themselves that speaks for itself. Sometimes they say I'm prone to speak too much, but I must say I don't agree. My best friend, El Presidente, Trump, once said, always speak your mind. He wrote it to me in capital letters, actually. And that's what I've done. It tastes so good. Fresh and wholesome. Arrivederci.